Welcome back to Big Gold Belt Media. I am Damian G, and I just got done watching The Better Sister, scheduled to drop on Prime on May 29th, starring Jessica Biel and Elizabeth Banks. And I'll say this, if you like your shows with a lot of intrigue, family dynamics, family drama, who, what, when, where, why, and how, the old school mentality of journalism, you might like this show. Without giving away too much, it starts mostly like a whodunit, then it morphs deeply into a story about lies, deceit, betrayal, trust, all that good stuff that, as the trailer will tell you, seems very Jerry Springer-esque. So I'll tell you off bat what I enjoyed. Okay, this is a mystery. This is a whodunit from the beginning. You won't trust anybody by episode 2. These characters were so unpredictable. These characters were so unlikable. Let me tell you that much. They were unlikable from the beginning. And once you get to episode 2, the mantra of don't trust anybody is on full display here. Because as we navigate the twists and turns of Corey Stoll's character, of Jessica Biel's character, and Elizabeth Banks' character, there's a lot here to be a full long week, and it's referenced in the show about being very Jerry Springer-esque, as I mentioned. But here's the dynamics. Biel's character, Chloe, is tightly wound. She uses EFT tapping, which, as someone who's worked in the mental health industry, I love to see that. But she's got some secrets. She's a little uptight. And then you got Elizabeth Banks. Her character is messy, emotional, but there is a lot to connect to with her because there's a lot of the other sister vibes. And if you've been in a family with multiple siblings, sometimes the black sheep is not the black sheep you think they are, right? And then there's Corey Stoll, who has the most punchable face I have ever seen in an actor in the longest time. I remember him in Ant-Man as Darren Cross, and I wanted to punch him in the face. I remember him in Quantumania and wanted to punch him in the face, and he still has this face that you want to incessantly punch consistently all the time. And it's all about these upper crust, upper west side characters. And if you lived in New York, you know there's a weird bubble. If you've watched Gossip Girl, there's a weird bubble around the upper west side. It's its own little hierarchy. And typically people like me who are raised in Harlem, we don't really go down those paths, but it makes you not like anybody. I think that's the bottom line for me to say that. So what didn't work well? Because all those other things worked well. The characters, the strong emotional support between all the characters, the acting itself is top notch. The subplot is very dun, dun, dun. And I liked it because it saved this show from being very paint by numbers. But what didn't work well? In my estimation, this was 2 episodes too long. If you would have cut some of the fat off of this, this would have been a higher rated show, in my opinion. And for the ADHD crowd, for the how to get away with murder crowd, sometimes more is not the best thing. So 2 episodes, maybe 1.5 episodes would have been cut down by. I think this would have been great. Okay. But it feels a little too familiar to me as I've seen this played out on other shows or other movies. The whodunit, the sibling rivalry, the douchey husband, the shadowy ops within a secret society that nobody knows about because there's a lot of crime going on. Seen it, been there, got the t-shirt, even lived it. So that might rub some people the wrong way. And then we get to the ending. On one hand, it's formulaic. On the other hand, it had me on the edge of my seat, kind of thinking, WTF. And I mean that in all the best ways possible. The ending, though familiar, threw me for a loop because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who was who. I didn't know who was going to get got, if anybody was going to get got. And if you've seen shows like Grey's Anatomy, and as I said, How to Get Away with Murder, you know somebody's about to get got at some point during this series. And that last episode had me on the edge of my seat. And even though It may not have worked as well as maybe they had intended over on Prime. I liked it. You may not. Just saying, the twists were great, but wrapped up in a typical, I need to fix this in about 2 hours sort of way. You may not like that. But if you like your drama with secrets and twists and turns and family dysfunction, this might be the show for you. It's a solid cast. The acting's impeccable. You like them, you hate them, you want to have dinner with them, you want to throw things at them. All that carries in this show. Okay? Also, side note, Treat Williams, where the heck have you been? I didn't even recognize that was Treat Williams, and I want you to go look up the actor. I didn't know he was still with us, for one, and for two, his portrayal in the scenes he's in chews up the scenery. And I mean that in all the snippy, sniveling ways possible. Okay? Final rating, 6 out of 10. Why did I say that? Because the show's not reinventing the wheel. It's not giving you something that you haven't already seen. It's not flipping it on a 180-degree turn on its head. It's kind of paint by numbers, which is why I keep saying this should have been 2 episodes less. 6 out of 10. That's how I feel. Worth watching, but manage your expectations appropriately as it starts to get very lully in the middle episodes. But let me know down below what you thought of the show The Better Sister. Prime Video scheduled to drop May 29th. This is Damien G for Big Gold Belt Media, biggoldbelt.com, your one-stop shop for all things entertainment. I'll catch you on the next one.